What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to the Cheat True Podcast with your boy Justin J. Will, whatever you want to call me. Hope everybody's doing well out there, man. Yes, I decided to drop an episode at 2:30 a.m. Don't ask me why. Well, as a matter of fact, ask me why. Why, Justin? Because I can do that. Okay? In the words of Lil Flip, a.k.a. Flipperachi, I can do that. All right? And plus, I want to give you guys something, man. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night and, you go to the bathroom, get your phone, do your little business, and you text your side chick or text your side dude. You can listen to the Cheat True while you do that. Okay? Yeah, I know a lot of y'all heart just skipped the beat. Shaking my head. But regardless of what you decide to do with your time, man, I just appreciate you for dropping in, checking in on your boy. Because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So I appreciate it, man. So this episode has nothing to do with sports. Nothing to do with sports at all sports. I just decided to talk about a couple stories that I saw, man. A couple of alarming stories that I saw. And I want to use this platform for a multitude of things. And expressing my mind on stuff like this is one of those things. So I decided to do so at 2:30 in the morning. Well, at least put the episode out at 2:30 in the morning. So, man, let's get into it. So, the first story here, we have a 7-year-old out of Detroit, Michigan, named Desandra Thomas. Okay, so Desandra Thomas was riding in the car, or riding in the van, I think it said here, with her father, and her father was driving drunk. He was drunk behind the wheel, and he crashed. So, little Desandra tried to find some help, and she ended up getting struck by a car, trying to find help for her father, who, it looks here like it says that that he was actually passed out behind the wheel. So she tried to find help, and she ended up getting struck by a car. Now, the person who was driving the car, who struck her, they weren't driving drunk or anything of that nature. They were just driving down the highway. So the guy is actually still alive. Her father is actually still alive. Her father survived the ordeal, but she didn't. So, man, I can't begin to tell you how sad this story is. I mean, you guys know. I mean, this is like super freaking sad right here, man. I mean, could you imagine having to live the rest of your life knowing that you are the reason why your child got killed? You know, if dude would have never gotten behind the wheel of that car, behind the wheel of that van, intoxicated, 9 times out of 10, she's still here. And he's going to have to live the rest of his life knowing that one bad decision cost this child her life. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, this kind of like a side note right here. I know my dad has told me this before. I know he told me this a while back, but Colin Cowherd says this a lot. He says, man, you got to watch who car you get in. Now, obviously, this girl didn't. I mean, she was just driving with her father. But I'm just saying, like I said, as a side note to everybody out there, man, watch who car you get in. Okay? Your whole life can change based on the car that you get into. Real talk. I know people. Trust me. I know people that their lives have turned based on the car that they got into. Whether it's because somebody was off drugs or drunk as hell or ended up going somewhere that they didn't have no business. I'm telling you, it can happen. But, as far as this story right here, man, it's so sad, and there's so much stuff going on in the world today. And it seems like I'm seeing these stories with more regularity now. Maybe they've been happening all the time, and I've just kind of just wandered on along and just like, okay, well, yeah, that sucks. God bless them. God keep them. But it seems like I'm seeing a different story every day. Okay, which, I mean, it seeing those stories, seeing two particular stories, I'll get into the other one shortly. Seeing those stories prompted me to do this episode because it's just a lot of sad stuff going on, man. I mean, we got kids dying left and right. I mean, we just had the story. Where was that? And man, I forgot where it was, but the little girl got caught in a crossfire. She got caught in the crossfire and died. Remember a while back had the story about I think it was like a 5-year-old boy or something in Chicago. They ended up like luring him into the alley and shot him in the head. Like, it's so much crap going on with kids today, man. Like, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I remember there was a story out of Mississippi, man, where I'm from. Not too far from where I live. A dude kidnapped his kid, shot the baby, killed the baby, and killed himself. I mean, this is crazy, man. It's crazy, and it's sad. It's sad that we got kids losing their lives like this, man. They are losing their lives left and right. Like, I remember there was a story up here, and I mean, I can keep these going. I mean, as I'm naming them off, I'm starting to remember more and more and more and more and more. And I remember up here in St. Louis, there was an incident. We had a little girl. I forgot how old she was exactly, but I mean, she was like around the 5 to 9-year-old range, I guess. Sitting in the back of the car with her mom and dad, and somebody comes through firing, trying to take them out. And luckily she survived, but she's messed up for life. Her mom and dad didn't make it. And they thought she wasn't going to make it. But by some miracle, by the blessings from above, she survived. But it's crazy, man. We just got these things happening left and right to our kids, bro. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what to say. I mean, this girl will never get a chance to go on her first date. No first date, no prom, no college. Won't get a chance to get married. None of that. She'll never get a chance to. And there's so many kids out there, man, who are falling victim to these bad parents. But I don't know, man. I feel for this family, man. I really do. And we can excoriate the dude for what he did, and he deserves to be excoriated. He deserves to be yelled at. He deserves to be talked about. But at the same time, I feel bad for this dude, man. Because at the end of the day, we all have made some bad mistakes. We all have. I don't care who you are. I don't care how perfect you think you are. I don't care. We've all made bad decisions. I've made bad decisions. You've made bad decisions. We all made them. Some are worse than others. Some of us got luckier than others, right? We made really bad decisions, and somehow we came up out it without a scrape, without a scratch. But at the end of the day, this guy made a really poor choice, and he will have to live the rest of his life knowing that poor choice cost him his daughter's life. I don't know. I feel for the family. I feel for that dude. I feel for all the people, man, who are just losing kids, man. You just had the whole Junior thing, the kid in New York who was killed for nothing, brutally murdered with a machete. You had the rapper Triple X Tentacion, even though he wasn't a saint. I mean, the guy was just like 20 years old. Dying young, man. Dying young. Got toddlers dying, man. 2-year-olds dying, 5-year-olds dying, 8-year-olds dying, 7-year-olds dying. I mean, how many stories are we going to see of somebody, kidnapping their kid or putting their kid, drowning their kids? Just these crazy ass stories, man. Just crazy ass stories, man. And I really feel for this family, man. So R.I.P. Desandra Thomas, man. My prayers are with him. I've already said a prayer for him. Prayers up. And I just hope that somehow, some way, the family can learn from this. I hope that the dude can learn from this. That's a hard pill to swallow, but I hope that they can move on and find some type of, find some type of peace with the situation. So R.I.P. Desandra Thomas. Now, this next story comes out of Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm just going to read the article here. So, a Kansas City area woman has been charged with letting men rape her 2-year-old daughter. 25-year-old Azzy Watson of Independence was charged Tuesday with child abuse and endangerment. Bond is set at $75,000. No attorney is listed for her in online court records. Court documents say Watson's boyfriend recorded Watson talking about repeatedly taking her daughter to a house where her daughter was raped about 5 times. She says on the recording that she watched. Police were given the recording last month while responding to a rape report at a hospital. Court documents say Watson told detectives that what she said in the recording was a lie because she was scared of her boyfriend. Watson also said she didn't know her daughter contracted a sexually transmitted disease. So, you got this lady, Azzy Watson, who let these guys rape her 2-year-old daughter. Two-year-old daughter. Okay? And the 2-year-old caught a sexually transmitted disease. And this woman had the audacity to say that she doesn't know how she contracted it. So, man, I'm going to tell y'all something, bro. And I honestly believe this. Now, everybody want to talk about gun control, and we need to ban the AR-15 and ban assault, right? Y'all remember that commercial on that March Our Lives? Did y'all watch that? The rally that they spent millions of dollars on and for them kids to anyway, they had a commercial. It was like, hey, my name is Sergeant Joe Braggs, and I served on SEAL Team 1. I served in Vietnam. My name is Lieutenant. And they had different people talking about, hey, I served here, I served there. And they were like, yeah, well, nobody deserves to have an AR-15 except me. Nobody deserves to have an AR-15 except law enforcement and military personnel. Like, just a bunch of crap, man. That commercial really just makes my blood boil. But my point is, everybody wants to talk about gun control and all that, man. And you need to have mental evaluations to get a gun and all that crap. Look, man, I honestly believe that, especially if you want to go down that route of like having a mental evaluation process set in place for somebody to get a gun, which I don't think is feasible. I don't think that you want to do that. But if you want to go down that road, we seriously need to look at who we let have children in this damn country. I'm serious, man. I mean, how many stories do we have to see? I mean, you see it all the time, right? I mean, this is the first story I've seen like this. This is the first story I've heard of somebody letting some crazy deranged dude do something to their daughter for drugs or something. This isn't the first time I've heard of this. And I'm sure it isn't the first time you heard of it either. I mean, we seriously need to look at who in the hell we let have kids in this country. I mean, seriously. Because it's getting out of hand. I mean, it's really getting out of hand. How many more stories do we have to see like this? Or some couple tying their kids up in the basement and not feeding them for 3 months or something like that. I mean, I think that there is a serious problem in this country with kids. Well, I mean, with people having kids. I think that that's something that needs to be looked at. It needs to be controlled. Because, I mean, bro, do y'all, a 2-year-old was raped. Raped. A 2-year-old was raped. Okay? And she was raped multiple times. And she caught a sexually transmitted disease. Like, this is crazy. This is utterly despicable, man. This is despicable, bro. Like, I don't think that there is no type of like leniency that should be shown to these people. Like, straight up. I mean, she had the audacity to say that she didn't know how her daughter contracted a sexually transmitted disease. And just lying through her teeth. Oh, well, I lied because, like, come on, man. No, man. No. This is ridiculous. And I'm going to say this here, man. And I really don't care how people feel about it, because I really believe this in my heart. I believe that in society that there are people who just don't deserve to live. There are some people, bro, who just don't deserve to be here. I mean, I truly believe that. I believe that there are people out here who shouldn't breathe the same air that we breathe. Stories like this is what I'm talking about. It backs my point up. There are some people who just shouldn't be here. There are some people who shouldn't have children. This girl is one of them, along with many others. And there are some people who just shouldn't be here. I mean, think about, you guys remember that video that was floating around on Facebook? I actually had to delete somebody because of that. Remember that video that was floating around, that child pornography, and people were sharing it? Do y'all really believe that dude deserves to breathe the same air that me and you breathe, man? Seriously. Like, I'm a true believer in it. Like, we're not talking about somebody who did something wrong, man, made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, man, dude goes into the store, robs the store, man. He's down on his ass. He made a bad decision. He gets 6 years in jail. He comes back home. He can be a value to society. The guy who was in that video, no, he's no value to society. This person right here, Azzy Watson, no value to society at all. None whatsoever. No value, man. And it sucks that the children have to suffer because of that. They have to suffer because of that. I mean, I'm looking at another article here, man. It starts it off by saying the 2-year-old girl had no daddy, but some terror of men came crying up when her new foster parent tried to change her diaper. It says here, "Daddy hurt me," she cried. "Daddy, stop being mean. Daddy, it hurts." The horrors that foster parent discovered June 29th were the worst she had ever seen, according to Kansas City police. The 2-year-old girl had been repeatedly raped, and both she and her 1-year-old brother had scarred and punctured feet. So it's, man, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. But I seriously think we need to evaluate who we let have kids. Because I'm really tired of seeing stories like this, man. It's one thing to, you know, do these acts to grown people, which, I mean, that's bad too. But man, when you start getting the kids involved, you start getting young kids, when you start getting 2-year-old kids involved, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, toddlers, man. I mean, even going back to the first story out of Michigan. I mean, I'm just tired of seeing these kids go through it, man. I'm tired of seeing it. And I just thank God that I thank God that He sent me great parents, and that I was raised in a two parent household. I was raised in a stable household. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had to go through anything like this ever, and I don't wish this on anybody. So I don't know, man. It's crazy, but I just hope that they bring the hammer down on these people, man. I'm telling y'all, you wouldn't want me to be in charge of dishing out punishment, cause I'm telling y'all really would not want me to do that, cause I get rid of a lot of this stuff, man. I'm telling you, if I was president, you let me be mayor or something, bro, I swear it's going up. I'm telling you, bro, it's up there with me, like for real. Just like Trump banning all these trying to ban immigrants and build a wall and all that. You see how aggressive he is with that? That's exactly how aggressive I be with punishing people like her, as he was. Serious business. Because I really believe that some people just don't deserve to exist in society. Some people don't deserve it, man. Some people just really don't deserve it. And like, there are two things, man, that I believe that there's no coming back from. Like, you have to be really screwed up in the head to do these two things right here. One of them is raping somebody. If you have any type of enjoyment, if you take any type of enjoyment out of forcefully having sex or forcing somebody to have sex with you against their will, you are nutso. Okay? You are kooky madookie, as my boy Colin like to say, man. I mean, you are crazy. If that's something that turns you on, you are crazy. Like, the people who did this, man, they are absolutely nutso. They are nuts. Okay? There's that, and there's murdering kids. If you can murder a 5-year-old kid, man, a 6-year-old kid, a 7-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid, you just wired differently, man. You are just wired differently. It's one thing. First of all, you have to be wired a certain way to go out and just kill somebody. You know, unless it's like self-defense. I mean, somebody breaks in your house and you shoot them. I mean, damn, what were you supposed to do? But for you to go out and say, oh, you know what, man, we about to go across the tracks and kill this dude and whoever in the house. Like, you got to be wired a certain type of way. You got to have some screws loose. But in order for you to do these two things, to rape somebody, to rape a child, to rape somebody, period, and to kill a child, you don't have any screws at all. It's not even necessarily that you don't have that your screws are loose. You just don't have screws at all. And me, I'm telling you, if I was dishing out punishment, man, I swear, man, I'd get rid of a lot of them folks. I'm telling you, it's just like a dog, man. Like, if a pit bull bites off the arm of a little kid, if a pit bull bites off a 6-year-old's arm, what happens to that pit bull? He gets put down. The pit bull gets put down because he's too dangerous to society now. He's too dangerous. It's like they have to put him down. They euthanize him. So, man, I'm telling you, I'd implement something there, because it's no, you get no remorse from me for something like this, man. Allowing something like this to happen, to allow your 2-year-old girl to get raped, and not only get raped, you let it happen repeatedly, not just once, but repeatedly. That there's no remorse. That there should be no remorse for this lady. None whatsoever. This isn't, oh yeah, she went and robbed a bank, or yeah, she beat up a coworker or something. I mean, seriously, like, what the hell? No remorse. There should be no type of leniency showed to this woman. So, man, I'm gonna end this out by saying I'm gonna continue to pray. Look, man, just take care of your kids, ladies out there. Be careful who you have babies with. Dudes, be careful who you have babies with. Hey, just do what you can. Stay prayed up. Be safe out there, man. Protect these kids, man. Protect these kids. Look, man, if you live in a bad neighborhood and you got to duck every night from gunfire, man, try to move. Try to improve the situation. Try to get your kids out of there, man. If you're in a toxic relationship and you guys are arguing every day and your daughter has to see that and you got your boyfriend threatening you, sending you threat, man, get out the situation, man. Just get out of it. Because it's too many kids losing their lives over nothing. You know, they got that saying, what's that saying, man? They didn't ask to be here, but they ain't asked to die either. So, man, just take care of yourself, man. Take care of your seeds, man. Use good judgment. And, man, just stay up, man. So, anyway, that's Chief True. And I will be back with an episode on Friday. And I'll be talking sports. And I appreciate you guys for listening in. Like I said, man, be safe out there. And I will talk to you Friday. Peace.